Just one video and everything will change. Reprogram your mind with this video. The last part of this video holds the life-changing truth you need to hear. Right now, as you watch this, you're on the edge of a massive transformation. Imagine waking up tomorrow with an unstoppable mindset. No hesitation, no doubt, just pure focus. It's all possible with this video. This isn't a dream, this is real. Tonight, while the world sleeps, you're reprogramming your mind at the deepest level. Tomorrow, you'll wake up stronger, more confident, and driven like never before. There's one word you need to hear, one key to unlocking the power within you. Once you hear it, your life won't just change, it will explode into something new. So don't wait. Don't let this moment slip by. This is the moment that everything shifts. Are you ready for it?
Same power within you. You have the ability to change your world, to create your reality, but you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to think differently, to feel differently, to act differently. Now let's talk about the 3-day window. Why 3 days? Because that's typically how long it takes for your brain to start accepting a new pattern as real. For 3 days, you need to be relentless in your focus. You say, wake up each morning and immediately visualize your goal. Feel the emotions of already having it. Then throughout the day, keep coming back to that vision. Every time you have a spare moment, every time you're waiting in line or sitting in traffic, use that time to reinforce your new reality. But here's the crucial part. During these 3 days, you need to eliminate anything that contradicts your new belief. That means no complaining, no worrying, no negative self-talk. If a doubtful thought comes up, don't fight it. Just gently redirect your focus back to your vision. This might sound challenging, and it is. But remember, you're literally rewiring your brain. You're creating new neural pathways that will make this new way of thinking your default mode. It's like carving a new path through a dense forest. The first time is the hardest, but each time you walk that path, it gets easier. Now, I want to be clear about something. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing where to put your energy. If you have a health issue, by all means, seek medical treatment. If you have financial problems, take practical steps to address them. But don't let these current circumstances define your future. Use this belief system to create a new reality alongside your practical actions. Some of you might be wondering, what if it doesn't work in 3 days? And that's a fair question. The truth is, sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes the change is subtle at first, but here's what I can promise you. If you commit to this process, if you truly live it for 3 days, you will see a shift. It might be small at first, but it will be there. And that small shift is the beginning of a whole new reality. Think of it like planting a seed. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't see results immediately. But if you keep watering it, if you keep giving it sunlight and nutrients, it will grow. Your thoughts and beliefs are the seeds. Your emotions and actions are the water and sunlight. Keep nurturing them and they will bloom into your new reality. Now, let me share a secret with you. The real power of this belief system isn't just in getting what you want. It's in who you become in the process. When you start living from a place of possibility instead of limitation, when you start focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want, you transform. You become more confident, more creative, more alive. You start to see opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. This transformation doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. Your energy changes and people respond to that. You become a beacon of possibility, inspiring others to reach for their dreams. You create a ripple effect that can change your family, your community, even the world. I've seen this happen countless times. I've seen people heal from chronic illnesses when doctors said it was impossible. I've seen people create thriving businesses from nothing. I've seen people find love after years of loneliness. And every single time, it started with a change in belief. This isn't about getting stuff. It's not about manifesting cars or houses or money. Although those things can certainly come as a result, this is about becoming the highest, truest version of yourself. It's about aligning with your purpose, with your potential. It's about living a life of meaning and fulfillment. Because here's the truth, you are a creator. You are a powerful, conscious being with the ability to shape your reality. But for most of your life, you've been creating by default, reacting to circumstances instead of consciously choosing your path. This belief system is about taking back that power. It's about becoming the deliberate creator of. Now, I want you to think about something you really want. Something that would change your life if you had it right now. Got it? Good. Now, I want you to close your eyes and see it. See it as clearly as you can. Make it vivid. Make it real. Now, feel how you would feel if you had it right now. Let that feeling fill your entire body. Hold on to that feeling. This is your new set point. This is the energy you want to carry with you for the next 3 days. Every time you feel yourself slipping back into old patterns of thought or emotion, come back to this feeling. Let it be your anchor. Remember, your thoughts are powerful, but your feelings are magnetic. They're what draw your desires to you. So feel good now. Don't wait until you have what you want to feel good. Feel good now, and watch how quickly your reality shifts to match that feeling. Now, I want to address something important. Somebody might be thinking, this sounds selfish. Shouldn't I be focused on helping others instead of getting what I want? And that's a beautiful thought. But here's the truth. You can't give what you don't have. When you're living your best life, when you're fulfilled and abundant, you have so much more to give to others. Your cup overflows and everyone around you benefits. When you're on an airplane, they always tell you to put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others. Why? Because if you run out of oxygen, you can't help anyone. The same principle applies here. When you're living your best life, you inspire others to do the same. You have more energy, more resources, more love to give. You become a force for good in the world. So don't feel guilty about wanting more for yourself. It's not selfish to want to live your best life. In fact, I would argue that it's selfish not to. The world needs you at your best. The world needs your gifts, your talents, your unique perspective. And you can only give those fully when you're living in alignment with your highest self. Now, let's talk about action. Some people think that this belief system means you just sit around visualizing all day and magically things appear. That's not how it works. Yes, the inner work is crucial, but you also need to take inspired action. The key word here is inspired. When you're in alignment with your vision, when you're living from that place of belief and positive emotion, you'll feel nudges. You'll get ideas. You'll see opportunities, follow those nudges, take those inspired actions. But here's the important part. Don't force it. Don't take action from a place of fear or desperation. That's the old way of doing things. Instead, take action from a place of excitement and anticipation. If it feels like struggle or effort, step back. Realign with your vision. The right actions will feel good. They'll energize you, not drain you. Just remember, you're not trying to make things happen. You're allowing them to happen. You're aligning yourself with the version of reality where you already have what you want. The actions you take are simply you playing your part in that reality. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What about when things don't go as planned? What about when you face setbacks or obstacles? This is where most people give up. They take it as proof that it's not working. But here's the truth. Obstacles are not a sign of failure. They're a sign that you're on the right path. Think about it this way. If you're trying to climb a mountain, you're going to encounter some steep parts. You might slip and fall a few times, but those challenges don't mean you're on the wrong mountain. They're just part of the climb. The same is true in life. Challenges are not punishment. They're not a sign that you're doing something wrong. They're opportunities for growth. They're chances for you to strengthen your belief, to prove to yourself that you're committed to your vision. So when you face obstacles, don't get discouraged. Instead, get curious. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? How is this preparing me for what I want? Remember, every great success story includes moments of doubt, moments of struggle. It's not about avoiding those moments. It's about how you respond to them. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you start feeling good. Don't put conditions on your happiness. Choose to feel good now, regardless of your circumstances. Because when you make feeling good your priority, everything else falls into place. This might sound counterintuitive. You might think, but I'll feel good when I get what I want. But that's backwards. You get what you want by feeling good first. Your emotions are the magnet that attracts your desires. So make feeling good your top priority. Find reasons to be grateful now. Find reasons to be excited now. Find reasons to be confident now. Start telling a new story about your life. Instead of focusing on what's wrong or what's missing, start talking about your life as if it's already perfect. Tell the story of your life the way you want it to be, and do it with conviction. Do it with feeling. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So when you tell this new story with emotion, your subconscious accepts it is true. And when your subconscious believes something, it moves heaven and earth to make it your reality. Now, I want to address something important. This belief system isn't about controlling every detail of your life. It's not about micromanaging the universe. In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do is let go of the how. Trust that the universe knows better than you how to bring your desires to you. Your job is to be clear about what you want, to feel the emotions of having it, and to be open to receiving it. The how is not your responsibility. Often your desires will come to you in ways you never could have imagined. So stay open, stay flexible, trust the process. This requires surrender and control, which can be scary. But here's the beautiful truth. When you surrender control, you gain true power. You align yourself with the infinite intelligence of the universe. You open yourself to possibilities beyond your current imagination. As we near the end of this talk, I want to remind you of something crucial. This belief system, this way of living, it's not just about getting stuff. It's about becoming more. It's about expanding your consciousness. It's about living a life of purpose and meaning. When you start living this way, you'll find that your desires change. The things you thought you wanted might not seem so important anymore. You'll start wanting experiences over possessions. You'll start valuing growth over comfort. You'll start seeking ways to contribute, to make a difference. And that's the real magic of this belief system. It's not just about changing your external reality. It's about transforming your inner world. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts abundance, love, and fulfillment. So as you leave here today, I want you to make a commitment. Commit to living from this new belief system for the next 3 days. Commit to holding your vision, feeling the emotions, and taking inspired action. Commit to telling a new story about your life. And most importantly, commit to being patient and kind with yourself. This is a practice like any skill. It takes time to master. There will be moments when you slip back into old patterns. That's okay. Just gently bring yourself back to your vision, back to those positive emotions. Remember, you are powerful beyond measure. You have the ability to create any reality you can imagine. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of your life. So dream big, feel deeply, act boldly, trust in the process. As you step into this new way of being, you'll start to notice changes. They might be small at first, a chance encounter, an unexpected opportunity, a shift in how you feel. Pay attention to these signs. They're confirmation that you're on the right track. They're the universe responding to your new vibration. But don't stop there. Keep going, keep refining your vision, keep elevating your emotions, keep taking those inspired actions. Because here's the thing, there's no limit to what you can create. As you grow, your vision will expand. You'll start to see possibilities you never imagined before. And as you create your new reality, remember to enjoy the journey. Too often, we get so focused on the destination that we forget to appreciate the path. But the truth is, the journey is where the real magic happens. It's where you grow, where you learn, where you become the person capable of living your dream life. So savor each moment. Find joy in the process of becoming. Celebrate every small victory, every sign of progress, because each of those moments is a miracle in itself. Each of those moments is proof of your power as a creator. Now, let's talk about consistency. This isn't something you do once and forget about. This is a way of life. It's about consistently choosing your thoughts, consistently elevating your emotions, consistently taking inspired action. It's about making this your new normal. At first, it might feel like work. You might have to consciously remind yourself to visualize, to feel good, to stay focused on your vision. But over time, it becomes second nature. It becomes who you are, not just something you do. And here's a powerful truth. As you consistently practice this belief system, you start to build momentum. Your new thoughts create new neural pathways in your brain. Your elevated emotions create new set points in your body. Your inspired actions create new patterns in your life. And all of this combined creates a powerful force that propels you towards your desires. Think of it like a flywheel. At first, it takes a lot of effort to get it moving, but once it starts spinning, it gains its own momentum. It becomes easier to keep it going, and that's what happens in your life. As you consistently apply this belief system, it gets easier. The results come faster. The synchronicities become more frequent. Your manifestations become more powerful. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when people start practicing this belief system. You might find that as you start to change, some people in your life become uncomfortable. They might question what you're doing. They might try to pull you back to your old ways of being, this is normal. Remember, people are used to the old you. When you start to change, it challenges their perception of you and of what's possible, but don't let this deter you. Your growth might inspire them to grow. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You're not responsible for their journey. You're responsible for yours. You might also find that as you raise your vibration, some relationships naturally fall away. This can be uncomfortable, but it's a necessary part of the process. As you align with your highest self, you naturally attract people and situations that match your new energy. Trust this process. The right people and opportunities will come into your life at the perfect time. Now, let's talk about persistence. There might be times when you don't see immediate results. There might be times when it feels like nothing is happening. This is where most people give up. But this is also where the magic happens. Remember, just because you can't see the changes doesn't mean they're not happening. Think about a seed planted in the ground. For a long time, nothing seems to be happening on the surface. But underground, that seed is growing roots, gathering strength, preparing to burst through the soil. Your desires are like that seed. Trust that even when you can't see the results, things are happening beneath the surface. This is where your commitment is tested. This is where your belief needs to be strongest, because the truth is, the universe is always responding to your vibration. Always. There's no such thing as failure, only feedback. If you're not seeing the results you want, it's an opportunity to refine your approach. Maybe you need to clarify your vision. Maybe you need to elevate your emotions even more. Maybe you need to take a different inspired action. But whatever you do, don't give up. Don't go back to your old ways of thinking and being. Because the moment you're about to give up could be the moment right before your breakthrough. Remember, every master was once a beginner. Every success story includes moments of doubt, moments of struggle. The difference is that they persisted, they kept going, they trusted the process, and you can do the same. Now, I want to share a powerful technique that can supercharge your results. It's called mental rehearsal. This is where you take time each day to mentally rehearse your new life. You close your eyes and you see yourself living your dream life in vivid detail. You feel the emotions. You engage all your senses. But here's the key. You're not just passively watching this mental movie. You're actively participating in it. You're feeling it in your body. You're experiencing it as if it's happening right now. Because to your subconscious mind, it is happening right now. This mental rehearsal does two powerful things. First, it trains your brain to look for opportunities that align with your vision. It primes your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, to notice things that can help you achieve your goals. Second, it creates a new memory in your brain. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So when you do this mental rehearsal, you're literally creating new neural pathways that support your desired reality. Do this every day, preferably right before you go to sleep and right after you wake up. These are times when your subconscious mind is most receptive. Make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Now, let's talk about gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions you can cultivate. It instantly shifts your vibration to a higher frequency. It aligns you with abundance. It opens you up to receive more goodness in your life. But just be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what's coming. Be grateful for your desires as if you already have them. This is a subtle but powerful shift. Instead of saying, I'll be grateful when I have this, say, I'm grateful that this is on its way to me. This attitude of gratitude does something remarkable. It shifts you from a state of wanting out, which implies lack, to a state of having. And remember, you attract what you are, not what you want. So when you're in a state of gratitude, you attract more things to be grateful for. As we approach the end of our time together, I want to remind you of something crucial. This belief system, this way of living, it's not just about you. Yes, it will transform your life in incredible ways, but it's also about the impact you can have on the world. When you step into your power as a creator, when you start living from a place of abundance and joy, you become a beacon of light for others. You inspire them to reach for their dreams. You show them what's possible. You raise the collective consciousness. Imagine a world where everyone understood this truth. Imagine a world where everyone was living their highest potential, creating from a place of love and abundance. That's the world we can create, one person at a time, and it starts with you. So as you leave here today, I want you to remember this. You are powerful beyond measure. You have the ability to create any reality you can imagine. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of your life. For the next 3 days, I want you to live as if your life depends on it. Because in a very real sense, it does. the life you've been dreaming of, the person you know you can be, it all depends on you fully embracing this truth. Visualize your desired reality with crystal clarity. Feel the emotions of already having what you want. Take inspired action from a place of joy and excitement. Tell a new story about your life. Be relentlessly grateful. And watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Remember, this isn't about forcing or struggling. It's about aligning, allowing, becoming. It's about tapping into the infinite power of the universe that flows through you. It's about becoming the highest, truest version of yourself. You have everything you need within you right now. You are already whole, already complete. You're not seeking something outside of yourself. You're simply allowing your inner greatness to express itself in the world. So go forth with courage. Go forth with conviction. Go forth with the unshakable, knowing that you are the creator of your reality, and in just 3 days, you'll be amazed at how your world can change. This is your moment. This is your time. Step into your power, embrace your potential, create your reality. The world is waiting for the gift that only you can give, so give it with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your being. You are ready. You are worthy. You are powerful. Now go and create the life of your dreams. It's all waiting for you. All you have to do is believe, feel, and allow. Your new life begins now. Make it extraordinary. Your entire life is about to change in the next 3 days. Everything you've been waiting for, everything you've been dreaming about, everything you've been silently praying for, it's all about to unfold. And the fact that you're here watching this means you're ready. Your soul has been preparing for this moment, even if your mind doesn't know it yet. Think about the last time you felt that surge of possibility, that electric feeling running through your body, telling you something big was coming. Remember that sensation? That wasn't just hope or excitement. That was your future self reaching back through time, pulling you toward who you're meant to become. And today, in these next 3 days, you're finally going to step into that power. I see it happening every single day. People who've been stuck in the same patterns for years, suddenly breaking free. Someone who couldn't even pay their bills, suddenly manifesting abundance beyond their wildest dreams. A person trapped in endless cycles of self-doubt, suddenly standing in their full power, creating miracles. These aren't just stories. This isn't just motivation. This is the raw truth of what happens when someone finally claims their power, when they stop living from their past and start creating from their future, when they understand that everything they've been searching for has been inside them all along. You're moments away from understanding the exact process that makes this possible. You're about to learn why some people can transform their entire reality overnight, while others stay stuck repeating the same patterns year after year. But more than that, you're about to experience this transformation yourself. The next 3 days will rewrite everything you thought was possible. You won't just hear words. You'll feel truth awakening in your bones. You won't just get information, you'll experience transformation in real time. This isn't just another teaching. This is the moment your future self has been waiting for. And it begins right here. Let me ask you something. What's the first thing you do when you wake up every morning? Do you reach for your phone, check your emails, worry about the day ahead? Most people live the same day over and over again, running on autopilot, wondering why nothing ever changes. They wake up with the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, make the same choices, and then wonder why they keep getting the same results. But here's what most people don't understand. These patterns aren't who you are. They're just habits you've practiced for so long that they feel like your identity. Every morning when you wake up with those same thoughts, every time you react with those familiar emotions, every moment you make those automatic choices, you're literally installing the same program for tomorrow. Think about it. How many times have you said, "This is just how I am"? How many times have you told yourself, "This is just my personality"? How many times have you accepted limitations as facts? These aren't truths. They're programs running on repeat. And the only reason they feel so real is because you've practiced them thousands of times. But what if I told you that you could break free from these patterns in just 3 days? What if I told you that everything you think is fixed about your life could change the moment you stop reinforcing these old programs? I've seen it happen countless times. People who've been stuck in the same financial situation for decades suddenly breaking through to abundance. Those trapped in endless cycles of self-doubt suddenly standing in their power. others bound by physical limitations suddenly experiencing freedom in their bodies. The secret lies in understanding that your current reality is nothing but a printout of your past. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every choice you make, they're all creating your tomorrow. And when you keep thinking, feeling, and choosing the same way, you keep creating the same life. But here's the amazing truth. You can change this pattern in an instant. The moment you decide to think differently, feel differently, and choose differently, you begin creating a new future. And that's exactly what we're going to do in these next 3 days. You see, transformation doesn't have to take years. It doesn't have to be a slow, gradual process. When you understand how to break free from these automated patterns, when you know how to stop installing the same program every day, everything can change in a moment. That restlessness you've been feeling, that desire for something more, that's not just discontent. That's your power awakening. That's your true self trying to break free from these old patterns. And in these next 3 days, we're going to release that power. We're going to break these patterns once and for all, and you're going to step into who you truly are. You already have everything you need inside you. Every single thing you've been searching for, every answer you've been seeking, every power you've been trying to find, it's all already there. The only reason you haven't experienced it yet is because you've been looking in the wrong direction. You've been searching outside for what can only be found within. Let me share something powerful with you. Just last month, I witnessed someone who hadn't created art in 20 years suddenly pick up a brush and create masterpieces that sold instantly. Another person who had been struggling with their weight for decades suddenly found themselves naturally choosing foods that served their body without forcing or struggling. Someone else who had been stuck in a dead-end job for years suddenly started a business that exploded overnight. What changed? Did they learn new skills? Did they get special training? Did they discover some secret technique? No. They simply tapped into the power that was already inside them. They stopped waiting for permission from the outside world and started listening to their inner wisdom. You see, most people spend their lives believing they need something more to become who they want to be. They think they need more education, more money, more time, more connections, but that's the greatest illusion keeping you stuck. Everything, absolutely everything you need is already within you. Think about a time when you just knew something without knowing how you knew it. Remember a moment when you felt absolutely certain about a decision, even though it made no logical sense. That wasn't coincidence or luck. That was your inner power speaking to you. That was your true self trying to guide you. This power isn't something you need to create or develop. It's not something you need to earn or deserve. It's your natural state. It's who you truly are, beneath all the layers of doubt, beneath all the years of conditioning, beneath all the false beliefs about who you think you should be. And here's what makes these next 3 days so extraordinary. You're going to experience this power firsthand. You're not just going to hear about it or think about it. You're going to feel it awakening inside you. You're going to witness it transforming your reality right before your eyes. When you tap into this power, miracles become your normal. The extraordinary becomes your everyday experience. Things that seemed impossible suddenly start happening effortlessly. Not because you're forcing them, not because you're struggling or trying harder, but because you're finally allowing your natural power to flow. Now that you understand this power lives within you, it's time to master it. And mastery begins with one simple truth. Your outer world is a perfect reflection of your inner world. Everything you're experiencing right now, your relationships, your health, your wealth, your success, it's all created from within. Most people have this backwards. They spend their whole lives trying to change things on the outside, hoping that will make them feel different on the inside. They chase success, hoping it will make them feel worthy. They pursue relationships, hoping they'll feel complete. They accumulate possessions, hoping they'll feel abundant. But it never works because they're working against the natural order of creation. Here's the reality. Everything flows from the inside out. When you change your inner world, your outer world has no choice but to change with it. When you master your inner state, your external reality transforms automatically. Not because you're forcing it, not because you're struggling with it, but because it's the natural law of creation. Let me show you how this works. Close your eyes for a moment. Think about something you want to create in your life. Maybe it's abundant wealth, vibrant health, or a powerful relationship. Now, instead of focusing on how to get it, feel what it would feel like to already have it. Feel the excitement, the joy, the gratitude. Feel it so deeply that your body believes it's happening right now. That feeling, that state of being, that's not just emotion, that's creation in action. That's you literally programming your future. Because when you can maintain that elevated state, when you can hold that feeling regardless of your current circumstances, you become a magnet for opportunities. You start attracting experiences that match your inner state. I've watched people transform their entire financial reality without changing anything in their external world first. They simply started feeling and embodying abundance before it showed up. I've seen others heal relationships by mastering their inner state without the other person doing anything different. They changed their inner world, and their outer world had to change to match it. This isn't positive thinking or wishful dreaming. This is the fundamental principle of creation. Your attention combined with elevated emotion becomes your point of attraction. Whatever you focus on while holding these elevated states begins materializing in your life, not because you're asking for it, but because you're becoming it. In these next 3 days, you're going to master this process. You're going to learn how to maintain these elevated states regardless of your external circumstances. You're going to understand how to focus your attention so powerfully that reality has no choice but to reshape itself around your new way of being. And here's what makes this so exciting. Once you understand this principle, you can apply it to every area of your life. There are no limits to what you can create when you master your inner world. There are no boundaries to what becomes possible when you learn to maintain these elevated states. Let me show you exactly how these next 3 days will unfold. This is where everything we've talked about comes together. This is where you turn understanding into experience, where knowledge becomes transformation. Day 1 is about shattering limitations. This is where you break free from everything holding you back. Most people never change because they're carrying their past into their future. They're dragging old stories, old wounds, old beliefs with them everywhere they go. But today, right now, you're going to set those down forever. Here's what happens on day 1. You're going to sit in complete stillness first thing in the morning, before checking your phone, before starting your day, before letting the world tell you who you are. In this stillness, you're going to feel every emotion that's kept you stuck. Every fear, every doubt, every limitation, you're going to feel it fully. Not to stay there, but to release it completely. Then you're going to stand up and move your body with complete freedom. No choreography, no rules, just pure, uninhibited movement. Let your body shake off years of stored tension. Let it release decades of held back expression. This is an exercise. This is liberation. This is you literally shaking free from your old self. Day 2 is about building your new reality. This is where you start living from your future instead of your past. Most people try to create their future while looking at their past. They set goals based on what they think is possible, limited by what they've already experienced. But not you. Not anymore. On day 2, you're going to wake up and immediately put yourself in a state of complete possibility. Before your feet touch the ground, you're going to feel the emotions of your future self. You're going to feel the joy, the power, the abundance of who you're becoming. And you're going to maintain this state hour after hour. Every time you catch yourself falling back into old patterns, every time you notice yourself thinking old thoughts or feeling old emotions, you're going to stop immediately. You're going to pause, take a deep breath, and reconnect with your future self. This isn't about forcing change. It's about choosing a new state of being moment by moment. Day 3 is where the magic happens. This is where you become the person you've always known you could be. This is where transformation becomes your natural state. Most people try to change while holding on to who they are. But true transformation happens when you're willing to let go of everything you think you are to become everything you can be. On day 3, you're going to wake up as if your entire transformation has already happened. You're going to move through your day from this new state of being. Every action, every word, every choice comes from your transformed self. This isn't pretending, this is embodiment. This is you literally becoming the person you've always wanted to be. Throughout this day, you're going to notice signs of your transformation everywhere. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. Synchronicities will become your normal experience. Things that used to trigger you will no longer have any power over you. This isn't coincidence. This is what happens when you truly shift your state of being. Here's what makes this process so powerful. It's not about adding anything to who you are. It's about removing everything that isn't truly you. It's about stripping away the layers of conditioning, the years of programming, the lifetime of limitations, until all that's left is your true self. And the most beautiful part, once you experience this transformation, you can never go back to your old way of being. Just like you can't unknow something once you know it, you can't unbecome who you truly are once you've experienced it. This isn't temporary change. This is permanent transformation. Remember, these 3 days aren't about learning new information. They're about becoming a new person. They're about transferring everything we're discussing from your head to your heart, from concept to experience, from understanding to embodiment. Now let's talk about the fuel that powers this entire transformation, elevated emotional states. This isn't about feeling temporarily happy or excited. This is about accessing emotions so powerful, they literally change your energy, your presence, your entire way of being. Most people live their lives at the mercy of their emotions. Something good happens, they feel good. Something bad happens, they feel bad. They're like leaves in the wind, blown around by whatever circumstances come their way. But what if you could choose your emotional state regardless of your circumstances? What if you could feel abundant before the money arrives? What if you could feel powerful before the success shows up? What if you could feel love before the relationship manifests? This is where true creation begins. When you can generate these elevated states at will, when you can maintain them regardless of your external reality, you become unstoppable. Because these aren't just feelings. They're frequencies. They're energetic signatures that attract matching experiences into your life. Let me show you how this works. Think about something you're genuinely grateful for right now. Not something you're trying to be grateful for, but something that naturally fills your heart with appreciation. Feel that warmth in your chest. Feel that expansion in your heart. Feel how your entire body relaxes into this state of gratitude. Now, instead of letting that feeling fade, amplify it. Let it grow stronger. Let it fill every cell of your body until you feel like you might burst with appreciation. This isn't pretending. This is you accessing your natural state of abundance. This is you tapping into the frequency of creation. From this elevated state, everything changes. Problems that seemed overwhelming suddenly become opportunities. Obstacles that looked impossible suddenly reveal solutions. People who seem difficult suddenly become allies, not because your circumstances changed, but because you changed your relationship to them. I've watched people maintain these elevated states through the most challenging circumstances, through financial hardships, through health challenges, through relationship difficulties. And here's what happens. Their challenges transformed faster than anyone thought possible. Not because they ignored their problems, but because they approached them from a completely different state of being. This is your natural state. Joy isn't something you need to earn. Abundance isn't something you need to deserve. Power isn't something you need to prove. These elevated states are your birthright. They're who you are beneath all the layers of doubt and fear and limitation. As you move through these 3 days of transformation, you're going to notice signs everywhere. These aren't subtle hints. They're bold declarations from the universe that your reality is shifting. Let me tell you exactly what to watch for, because when you know what to look for, you'll see evidence of your transformation everywhere. First, you'll notice changes in your physical body. Your energy levels will shift dramatically. You might find yourself waking up before your alarm, feeling more alive than you've felt in years. Your body might feel lighter, as if years of emotional weight have been lifted from your shoulders. You might notice your posture changing naturally, standing taller, moving with more confidence, taking up more space without even trying. Your sleep patterns will shift too. You might need less sleep, but feel more rested. Your dreams will become more vivid, more meaningful. You might start remembering them with crystal clarity, seeing messages and meanings that were always there but you couldn't perceive before. These aren't just dreams. They're glimpses of possibilities, windows into your expanding consciousness. Then there's the shift in your perception of time. You'll start noticing moments stretching out, becoming richer, more meaningful. Things that used to stress you out suddenly seem to move in slow motion, giving you time to respond instead of react. You'll find yourself fully present in moments that you used to rush through. This isn't time slowing down. This is you stepping into a new way of experiencing reality. Watch for changes in your environment. Objects around you might seem brighter, more vibrant. Colors might appear more intense. Music might sound richer, more layered. Food might taste more flavorful. This isn't your senses improving. This is you becoming more aware, more alive, more present to the richness that was always there. Pay attention to how people respond to you. Without you saying a word, people will treat you differently. They might start asking what's changed about you, even though nothing has changed on the outside. Some might feel more drawn to you, while others might feel uncomfortable around your new energy. This isn't about them, it's about you vibrating at a frequency that some resonate with and others don't. You'll notice synchronicities multiplying, the right people, opportunities, and resources will show up exactly when you need them. You might think about someone and they call immediately. You might need something and appears unexpectedly. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations that you're in alignment with your transformation. Your intuition will sharpen dramatically. You'll start knowing things without knowing how you know them. Solutions will come to you fully formed. Decisions will become clearer, not because you have more information, but because you're accessing a deeper wisdom. This isn't psychic ability. This is you tuning into your natural state of knowing. Watch for unexpected opportunities appearing. Doors you didn't even know existed will suddenly open. People will offer you opportunities that align perfectly with your new direction. Resources you didn't know about will become available. This isn't luck. This is what happens when you shift your frequency to match your desires. Most importantly, pay attention to how you feel about yourself. The inner critic that used to run constant commentary starts getting quieter. The need for external validation starts fading away. The constant comparison to others loses its grip. You'll find yourself feeling more comfortable in your own skin, more confident in your decisions, more trusting of your path. These signs aren't just evidence of change, they're fuel for even deeper transformation. Each sign you notice, each shift you recognize becomes proof that everything we're doing is working. And as you acknowledge these changes, as you celebrate these shifts, you accelerate your transformation even further. Now, let's talk about what happens when resistance shows up, because it will. The moment you start this transformation, part of you will try to pull you back to your old patterns. This isn't weakness. This is natural. This is what happens when you step into your power. Your old self will try to convince you that this is too good to be true. That voice in your head might get louder, telling you to be realistic, to stop dreaming, to stay safe in your comfort zone. You might feel waves of doubt, uncertainty, even fear. This isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that everything is working exactly as it should. Think about it like this. When you've lived in a dark room for years, the first burst of light feels uncomfortable. Your eyes want to close, to return to the darkness they know. But that discomfort isn't telling you to go back to darkness. It's preparing you for the light. Here's how you move through this resistance. First, recognize it for what it is, a natural response to growth. Don't fight it, don't judge it, and most importantly, don't let it stop you. The moment you feel resistance rising, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is part of the process. When people around you don't understand your transformation, when they question your changes or try to pull you back to your old ways, remember, their reaction isn't about you. It's about their own relationship with change. Some people will feel threatened by your growth because it highlights their own resistance to change. The key is to stay anchored in your new state of being, especially when it feels challenging. When doubt creeps in, don't try to push it away. Instead, use it as a reminder to strengthen your connection to your future self. Let every moment of resistance become an opportunity to choose again, to recommit to your transformation. Remember, resistance isn't your enemy. It's your ally. It shows you exactly where you need to grow, exactly what you need to release, exactly how you need to strengthen your commitment to change. Every time you move through resistance instead of backing away from it, you become more powerful. Your transformation isn't just about you. As you step into this new way of being, as you claim your power and live from your highest state, you create ripples that touch countless lives. This is where your personal transformation becomes a catalyst for global change. Think about what happens when you walk into a room fully embodying your power. Without saying a word, you give others permission to do the same. When you stand in your truth, you create a space for others to find their courage. When you live from your highest potential, you show others what's possible for them. I've watched this happen time and time again. One person transforms and suddenly their entire family starts changing. A parent steps into their power and their children naturally begin expressing their gifts. Someone claims their worth at work and their entire team starts performing at higher levels. This isn't coincidence. This is the natural effect of elevated energy. Your transformation becomes a living invitation for others. People will look at you and ask, what changed? They'll feel the shift in your energy and want to know your secret. Some will be drawn to your light, while others might step back, uncomfortable with the mirror you've become. Both responses are perfect. They show you're no longer playing small. And here's what makes these next 3 days so powerful. You're about to become living proof that instant transformation is possible. Every person who sees your change, who witnesses your transformation, gets a glimpse of what's possible for them. You become a walking reminder that we don't have to wait years for change, that we don't have to gradually work our way toward our potential. This is your moment. Everything in your life has prepared you for these next 3 days. Every challenge you've faced, every obstacle you've overcome, every moment of doubt, and every spark of hope, they've all led you here. This isn't just another teaching, another program, another attempt at change. This is your awakening. The world needs your light. It needs your power. It needs your unique expression. These next 3 days aren't just about improving your life. They're about stepping into your role in the evolution of consciousness. When you transform the field of possibilities for everyone around you. So right now, in this moment, make a decision. Not a weak, wishful kind of hoping things will be different, but a powerful, unwavering commitment to become who you truly are. These next 3 days are your opportunity to step into that power, to claim that potential, to become that person you've always known you could be. The time for waiting is over. The time for hesitation is done. Your future self is calling you forward. Your transformation begins now. Step into it with everything you are. The world is waiting for your light, right? From your brain to your reality. That's the power you hold in this moment. Every morning you wake up with 70,000 thoughts. Most of those thoughts, they're the exact same ones you had yesterday and the day before and the day before that. You are literally thinking yourself into the same life day after day. But here's what's incredible. Your brain is rewiring itself right now with every single thought you think. Let me share something personal. 10 years ago, I found myself trapped in a loop of self-doubt that was literally reshaping my neural pathways. I would wake up each morning, and before my feet hit the floor, the voice in my head would start. You're not good enough. You can't do this. Who do you think you are? Those thoughts weren't just thoughts. They were becoming my biology, or my reality, my future. But then I discovered something that changed everything. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's happening in your outer world and what's happening in your inner world. When you change your inner dialogue, you literally change the structure of your brain. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new neural connections throughout your life. Here's the fascinating part. The synapses in your brain are constantly being updated, pruned, and strengthened based on Your thoughts. Just like a muscle gets stronger with exercise, neural pathways get stronger with repetition. Think of it like walking through a field of tall grass. The first time you walk a path, it's difficult, but walk that same path repeatedly, and soon you've created a clear trail. Your thoughts work the same way. The words you speak to yourself aren't just empty sounds disappearing into the air. They're physical signals rewiring your brain's circuitry. They're creating your future moment by moment. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to use this knowledge to transform your life in just 7 days. Think about your current thought patterns like an old operating system running on a computer. Right now, your brain is running you 1.0. It's familiar, comfortable, and predictable. But just like outdated software, these old thought patterns might be slowing you down, creating bugs in your life, and preventing you from accessing your full potential. When you repeatedly think negative thoughts, you're essentially coding these patterns deeper into your neural network. It's like your brain is a superhighway system, and every negative thought is a car traveling down that same road. The more traffic on that road, the wider and more established it becomes. I'm not good enough becomes an 8-lane highway in your mind, while positive thoughts are like small, rarely used dirt paths. Let me explain what's happening in your brain on a biological level. Every time you have a thought, your brain releases specific chemicals. We call these neurotransmitters. When you think negative thoughts, your brain releases stress chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals don't just float around aimlessly, they dock into specific receptor sites on your cells, like a key fitting into a lock. Over time, your cells actually create more receptor sites for these chemicals. Your body becomes physically addicted to these negative thought patterns. This is why most people stay stuck. They're literally addicted to their old way of thinking. It's not just a habit, it's a biological dependency. Your body is craving those familiar chemicals, those same emotional states, just like an addict craves their next fix. And just like an addict, you'll find yourself unconsciously creating situations in your life that allow you to experience those same emotions. Here's what makes this even more fascinating. Your brain doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. When you worry about something that might go wrong tomorrow, your body releases the same stress chemicals as if that thing were happening right now. You're literally programming your cells to expect negativity, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's the good news. Just as your brain created these neural superhighways of negative thinking, you can build new ones. You can literally reprogram your brain's operating system. The science of epigenetics shows us that your thoughts can switch genes on and off, changing how your cells express themselves. Your thoughts aren't just abstract concepts. They're physical signals that can alter your biological makeup. Understanding this science is crucial because it shows you that you're not stuck with your current thought patterns. Your brain's operating system isn't fixed. It's constantly being updated by your thoughts, words, and beliefs. The question is, are you consciously choosing these updates, or are you letting your old programming run on autopilot? Now, I'm going to share something powerful with you. The key to breaking free from those old thought patterns lies in the next 7 days. 7 days might sound short, but it's actually the minimum time your brain needs to begin creating lasting change. Think about this. If you've been thinking the same thoughts for 20, 30, or 40 years, you can begin to rewrite that program in just 7 days. Let me explain why 7 days is so critical. Research shows that it takes your brain approximately 7 days to start pruning old neural connections and strengthening new ones. It's like your brain is a garden. For the first few days, you're pulling out the weeds of old thoughts and planting new seeds. By day 7, those seeds start sprouting into new neural pathways. But here's the part most people miss. You can't just casually think new thoughts and expect transformation. You need to break the emotional addiction to your old self. Your body has been getting a steady supply of those familiar emotional chemicals: worry, self-doubt, fear. And just like any addiction, it will fight to keep getting its fix. The first 3 days are usually the hardest. You'll feel resistance. Your mind will try to pull you back to your old patterns. This is normal. It's actually a sign that you're creating real change. What can you expect during these 7 days? The first 2 days, you might feel uncomfortable, like you're speaking a foreign language to yourself. Days 3 and 4, you might experience mood swings as your body adjusts to different chemical patterns. But by days 5 through 7, something remarkable starts happening. You'll begin to notice moments where the new thoughts feel natural, where positive self-talk becomes your default setting. Remember, this transformation isn't about forcing change through willpower alone. It's about consistently installing new thought patterns until they become your new normal. These 7 days are your opportunity to literally rewrite your brain's programming, to create new neural pathways that serve your highest potential rather than your lowest expectations. Let's talk about the exact framework you'll use each day. Starting the moment you open your eyes. Your morning routine is crucial because your brain is most programmable in those first moments after waking. When you first wake up, your brain is still in theta state, the same state hypnotherapists use for transformation. This is the golden hour for rewiring. Here's your morning protocol. Before you even sit up in bed, place your hand on your heart. This simple gesture triggers your body's coherence center. Take 3 slow, deep breaths in through your nose for 5 counts, hold for 5, out through your mouth for 5. This breathing pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, creating the perfect state for reprogramming your mind. Now, this is where most people get it wrong. They jump straight to affirmations without emotional intensity. Remember how we talked about your cells having receptor sites for emotional chemicals? You need to combine strong, elevated emotions with your new declarations. Start by generating genuine feelings of gratitude, joy, and excitement in your body. You can do this by vividly remembering moments when you felt incredibly proud, accomplished, or loved. Your empowerment statements need to be personal and specific. Don't just say, "I am confident." Instead, create statements that paint a complete picture. I move through my day with unshakable confidence, making decisions easily and speaking my truth boldly. Feel the truth of these words in your body as you say them. Imagine yourself already being this person. The physical component is crucial. Sit up straight, shoulders back, chin slightly lifted. This posture signals to your nervous system that you're in a state of power. As you speak your declarations, use your hands to anchor the energy. When you make a powerful statement, press your thumb and first finger together firmly. This creates a physical anchor for the new neural pathway you're building. Your voice matters too. Speak your declarations with authority, even if you have to whisper them. The vibration of your voice creates waves of energy that affect your cellular structure. Combine your declarations with visualization. See yourself living these truths. Feel them in your body. Hear the sounds associated with this new reality. Here's a critical element most people miss. You need to practice this when you're standing up too. Change your physical state throughout the day. If you catch yourself slumping or feeling low, immediately stand tall, pull your shoulders back, lift your chest, and repeat your empowerment statements. This creates a feedback loop between your mind and body, reinforcing the new patterns you're installing. End your morning practice with what I call the energetic seal. Place both hands over your heart. Breathe deeply and feel gratitude for the new person you're becoming. This seals in the new programming and sets the tone for your entire day. Remember, you're not just saying words, you're literally rewiring your brain's circuitry with every practice session. So let's dive into one of the most fascinating processes your brain is capable of: metacognition, or thinking about your thinking. Throughout your day, your mind generates thousands of thoughts. But here's the key difference that will transform your life. Instead of being the thinker of your thoughts, you're going to become the observer of your thoughts. Think of your mind like a busy street. Up until now, you've been standing in the middle of that street, getting knocked around by every thought that passes by. But starting today, you're going to take a different position. You're going to sit on a park bench above that street, watching those thoughts go by. This is metacognition in action. You're no longer at the mercy of your thoughts. You're the observer of them. When you first start this practice, you'll be amazed at how many negative thoughts automatically pop up. Don't be discouraged. This awareness is actually the first step to rewiring your brain. Every time you catch a negative thought, it's like shining a spotlight on an unwanted guest in your mind. This simple act of noticing these thoughts begins to weaken their neural pathways. Now, here's what the real transformation